The Republic of Tatarstan is one of the most stable and fastest growing members of the Russian Federation, with a highly diversified industry base. However, this growth is threatened by a lack of engineers to guarantee the innovative economy. A project of successive vocational training of engineers has been developed at Kazan National Research Technological University (KNRTU) to meet this challenge. KNRTU is uniquely positioned to address this need. Firstly, it has a well-developed multi-level vocational training system that includes bachelor, master and postgraduate programs, as well as vocational retraining and further education for both lecturers and industry specialists. Secondly, it organizes an efficient educational process integrated with the research conducted in its laboratories and research centers. Thirdly, it provides many networking and international cooperation opportunities and uses advanced teaching technologies, including distance education. The project of successive vocational training of engineers is exemplified by the field of polymers and composite processing. The first stage is based on a 4-year curriculum of a bachelor-level training within the chemical engineering educational program. The purpose of the bachelor-level program is training professionals competent in synthesizing polymers, developing polymer composites, and transforming them into products. In process of studying, students master a number of competencies. Non-technical, such as the ability to self-organize and self-study, as well as to use the basics of legal and economic knowledge in various fields of activities. General professional competence, such as being able to use the main methods, techniques, and means of how to obtain, store, and process information. And professional competence, such as the ability to review technical documents, analyze raw and other materials and end products, detect and eliminate deviations from the operating modes of processing equipment and the parameters of the process, the readiness to master and operate the newly implemented equipment, and conduct standard and certification tests. Further training is at master level. The purpose of the master-level program, Chemical Engineering of Plastics and Composite Processing, is developing non-technical, professional and special competencies that would allow the graduates work successfully in the area of manufacturing high-barrier composites and be competitive on the labor market. The graduates realize that the future of chemical industry is related to the development of innovative activities. The curriculum of the program is made in accordance with the federal state educational standard. However, 70% of subjects are introduced independently upon the decision made by the university graduate chair in order to develop special competencies such as readiness to protect intellectual property and commercialize intellectual property rights, to develop measures aimed at comprehensive using raw materials, replacing critical materials, and finding the means of waste disposal, to analyze the cost effectiveness of processes, to assess innovation and technology risks when implementing new processes, and so on. The next stage is the postgraduate level, the program of which is unique and completely university developed. It includes both fundamental subjects and quite a large amount of research and development workshops aimed at handling research challenges and developing theses. For example, the thesis of one of our postgraduates in the area of polymers and composite technology was devoted to studying the electrical behavior of a relatively new and very promising polymer, polylactic acid. The problem was to improve the complex of its electrical properties. At the first stage, postgrad took the standard route by changing the geometry of products and varying the technological parameters of the polymer processing. But it was not enough. The solution was to create a composite based on this polymer. Postgraduate students relied on knowledge acquired during completing the programs on bachelor and master levels and analyzed the data obtained by other researchers. As a result, she developed a polymer compound that far overweighed the existing prototypes. The further program continues within a rather long time period. The active engineers return to the university to upgrade their qualifications and/or do additional practical courses. Continuing vocational training programs developed within the project of successive vocational training of engineers, have a basic curriculum, but they are regularly modified to comply with the federal state educational standards for the relevant field of study, with the requirements of the university, and with the recommendations of specific industrial enterprises. Some topics are specified and some additional sections are added to the programs. Additionally, prior to starting vocational course, we often conduct with the trainees from enterprises team-building master classes. To estimate the quality of the program, 64 trainees were surveyed. The age of trainees ranged from 22 to 64 years. There were 33 men and 31 women. 56 trainees have a university degree, 5 of them being PhDs in technical sciences, and 8 trainees do not have a university degree. 49% of the trainees work in their degree field, while 21% of the trainees work in another field, and 30% of trainees face, in one way or another, the issues of polymer composite processing when performing their professional activities. For the question of how much time has passed since your last upgrade training course, 36% of trainees chose the answer of 1 to 5 years. 22% answered that less than 1 year had passed, and the majority of the trainees, 36%, were trained for the first time. 3% or 2 trainees chose the answer of 6 to 10 years, and the same amount of trainees answered over 10 years. As the reason that had caused the trainees to attend the course, the prevailing answer was, "The course topic are directly related to my professional activities." It should also be noted that most of them also chose the answer, "It was my management order." Only 3 trainees were there to retrain for other fields of vocational activities. 14 trainees have vocational issues that need acquiring new knowledge to be solved. When answering the question, "How new was the course content to you?" more than a half trainees noted that the materials had been just partly new to them. 39% of the trainees found the course considerably new, and only 4% noted that the course content had not been essential. Generally, in realizing the further vocational educational programs, we develop new, unique training packages that agree with the modern science and technology of advanced nanocomposites. Thus, the project of successive vocational training of engineers, relying on the unique conditions in the National Research University, is multi-leveled and successive regarding both the contents and the competences to be developed. The experiences in implementing such a successive vocational training showed its efficiency, which is proven by the findings of surveys performed on both the alumni of the research university and their employers. The indices of the training quality satisfaction vary within the range of 75 to 95%.